This is Victoria's Inner Harbor. I don't go to Victoria very much, but every time I do, I'm reminded of who puts the British in British Columbia. I think Victoria to British Columbians is something entirely different than it is to American tourists. One of the oldest Victoria traditions is the tourist economy that focuses on the Seattle to Victoria ferry run. This tradition of the Seattle to Victoria run was kept alive in the modern era by a service called the Princess Marguerite.
Take a princess to sea.
Take a princess to sea.
Have a crumpet and tea.
Have a crumpet and tea.
That was the brand new ship that was created just as this industry was falling out of fashion, which is ironic. Basically, when the CPR gave up on this, British Columbia government realized they needed it to serve Victoria's tourist industry, so they bought it. This was all fine until 1980, because that's when the ship was suddenly taken out of service, when the Princess Marguerite couldn't meet EPA requirements to travel to the United States.
Despite a 33,000-name petition calling on the government to keep the Princess Marguerite on the Victoria-Seattle run, officials are still refusing to allow the vessel to sail again.
This was framed to BC people as like a safety issue, but it was really an emissions issue.
Risk of safety and...
The social credit government had to hastily take one of BC Ferry's ships off of the Prince Rupert run and turn it into this experience of this Princess Marguerite ocean liner. And I'm sure you can see where I'm going with this, but it didn't work out because you are taking what is essentially a car ferry and turning it into this like stereotypical kind of British experience of this ocean liner. The Queen of Prince Rupert was a great ship for BC Ferries, but it certainly didn't have the kind of wood paneling and fine china and all of the appurtenances that an American tourist would expect when traveling to British Columbia. Basically, this came down to a situation where the government tried to please everybody and it ended up pleasing nobody.
And once again, the people of the northern communities on the BC coast have been left holding another bag.
Just part of the old Northern Syndrome, eh?
Is it Northern Syndrome or is it social credit syndrome?
This is kind of a forgotten little period of BC history that I'm sure the provincial fathers would rather you forget.
And she's going to go and have her insides ripped out.